Picture this. You're in a city and you're walking home from work or walking on the sidewalk, minding your own business. You decided to take a shortcut out on an alley, like you sometimes do. But on that day, you decided never to take an alley again, and as a shortcut, as you saw a raccoon when walking on the alley. But it wasn't a normal raccoon. It was foaming at the mouth and staring right at you. You notice what is up, up with that raccoon. You know what's up with it. So without a second thought, you ran off as soon as possible before or it starts to run at you. You figured out that this raccoon had rabies. Everybody knows about rabies, right? Of course, you might have been familiar with animals getting infected with rabies. These would have symptoms, and one of them would be aggression and hydrophobia. And don't forget foaming at the mouth or one of the symptoms of rabies. These that you may think of. But there are questions surrounding your head revolving about rabies. So I decided to answer about 5 questions about rabies that I come up with. And some of these questions, or should I say, some of these facts may blow your mind. The first question I'm going to be going for is why do people get hydrophobia? Now, if you're not familiar with hydrophobia, it's basically the extreme fear of water and is something associated with rabies. Yes. Now, there is a reason why people would get hydrophobia once they get rabies. And the reason why is because rabies causes spasms of the muscles in the throat and larynx, as rabies affect the area of the brain that controls swallowing, speaking, and yes, breathing. And did I forget that these spasms are excruciatingly painful? Which means that even a slight breeze or even an attempt to drink water can trigger these spasms. Yeah, that's the sad part. What's worse though is that a person can only survive about 100 hours without water. So that means that this means that a person with rabies would have most likely pass on due to dehydration. Or at least, that's how I would say it. Number 2. Are there any mammals that are immune to rabies? Well, your answer would be no. Ain't that obvious? There aren't any mammals that are immune to rabies. But did you know that there are mammals that almost never get the disease? And I'm not kidding. Animals, not animals, but specifically mammals such as squirrels, rabbits, chipmunks, rats, mice, guinea pigs, gerbils, and even hamsters are examples of mammals that almost never get rabies. So, although there are no mammals that are immune to rabies, there are mammals that almost never get it. Now, for question number 3, and you might not be expecting this, can dinosaurs get rabies? Well, you might think, no, dinosaurs don't get rabies. Well, given that dinosaurs are a cross between being warm and cold-blooded animals, this means that they can get it and will contract the disease is from contaminated meat and other infected animals, meaning that yes, they can get rabies as well. And this also means that rabies have been around for millions of years. Scary, isn't it? Now you might be thinking that at question number 4, can birds get rabies? You might think, no, birds cannot get rabies. Well, unfortunately, though, the dinosaurs' avian cousins, the birds, also can get rabies as well. However, the thing is that rabies infection in birds is very rarely reported in nature. So yes, birds can get rabies, but not as often as mammals. As like I said, birds infected with rabies is very rarely reported in nature. And for the fifth and final question is rabies a parasite? It might be a ridiculous question, but people say that rabies is not a parasite because, well, rabies is a virus. But the thing is that yes, rabies is a virus. I mean, ain't that obvious? Rabies can only be spread through the saliva of animals and humans. So they're not airborne. So they're not airborne diseases. Nor or can you get nor can you get rabies is by other things. You cannot get rabies by making contact with blood, urine, feces, and not even petting a rabid animal can cause you to get rabies. Though I do not recommend petting a rabid animal, even though petting it would not give you it. But petting a rabid animal will only cause you to get bitten, and you'll get it anyways. Do you want to know what's the scary part? The scary part is that even making contact with the saliva of a dead animal can can lead to a rabies infection. So yeah. And those are about 5 questions I've come up with about rabies. Yes. I hope this video is informative and make sure to like and subscribe for more content. If we can get to 20,000, well, if this video can reach 20,000 likes, I will make another video about rabies. If not, then oh well. Well, anyways, I'll see you on the next video.